Okay, so PR for startups, very basic stuff. How many of you are founders and you are trying to learn how to reach journalists? Okay, great, great. At least there are some of them. So before I, yeah. So what I do, let me quickly introduce about myself. I'm a tech journalist / blogger. I write about technology and technology in the startup scene for Japanese publications. I'm an independent journalist. I write for The Bridge, is a startup forecast Japanese online media, which I mostly contribute to, and I sometimes write for Why Japan and some other tech media, etc. And my favorite topics is quite wide-ranging. There are so many topics about technology and the startups, and every journalist have a different angle, wants to write about it differently. But so just for an example, I write very often about local startup ecosystem. That's kind of why I am here. I want to learn about how Minsk is growing along with the startup movement. I want to learn about it and share with the Japanese audience. And any unique product that's showing fast growth and any interesting founders who are tackling a unique program. That's what I like to write about. And why I do this, why I write about technology in the startups. And I just wanted to share to tell you the motivation of our journalist, because our motivation is really important. And so I want to see how the technology and the founders shapes the future. The industry is changing, so I want to see how the future will be with the spirit of entrepreneurship. And I just simply like startups and founders who are tackling unique, challenging problems. And they're very international. And when I'm in the community, I feel more welcome and accepted. That's why I like it. And I want to share the stories with Japanese people because Japan is so far away. It's almost 10,000 kilometers far away. It's a small island, and it's kind of isolated island, which has a very unique own culture. So I want to bridge Europe and Japan, and I want to show the Japanese people what kind of technology are out there and startup communities are out there. That's why I do this. And so I moved to Berlin 4 years ago. And why Berlin? I think Espen also talked about Berlin, but so there are just a lot of reasons why I chose Berlin, but to make it very simple, Berlin is relatively cheap. Yeah, relatively, compared to London and Paris. Yeah, well, and Japan, Tokyo, yeah, compared to Tokyo. Yeah, and a lot, yeah, a lot cheaper than San Francisco. Yeah. And international. Berlin's very international. Any startup events, meetup, everything is done in English because I didn't know any single, well, I knew a couple of German words, but they're very, very limited. So that made me very easy to join the community. And we also have a nice lifestyle and culture. Yeah. So that can be one of the problems why the startups grow a bit slower because we want to also enjoy the life, but which is a good thing also. So international, nice lifestyle, and cheap. And I think, well, it's kind of besides side the topic, but I think that's also the reason why Berlin attracts a lot of startup people, founders, also developers from outside Berlin. They want to live cheaper apartments, and they want to also be in an international community. They feel more accepted in the community. Yeah. Yeah. So I want to touch a little bit about technology, tech media in Japan. Well, how many of you guys have been to Japan? Oh, zero? So, no? Oh, one. Thank you. Okay. So, okay, it's worth talking about it. Good. So we actually follow, well, we follow global products and tech trends. We want to catch up with the latest tech trends. So we have actually a lot of media. Aside from the one I write for Why Japan, The Bridge, we also have Nikkei, the Crunch Japan, Forbes Japan, magazine, and I just want to know that every publication has different audience. So when you talk to a journalist, it depends on which media the journalist write for. You reach to a different readership and a different audience. So just to name The Bridge, the one I write for, and TechCrunch, we are read a lot by a local startup community. So with those media, you can reach startup community, founders, investors who are looking for next companies to invest. And we sometimes, we recently attract more corporate readers who are looking for a partnership. And Why Japan is more about tech culture and science research and lifestyle. And Gizmo, the Gigazine, gadgets, Apple phones, and Forbes are more for business. So I just want to tell that every media has a different readership. It's so different. It's very diverse. And Japanese love technology. We love hardware and software. And just to share the landscape, we love big players like Twitter, Facebook. Twitter is, I think Japan is one of the biggest market. Yeah. And we use Slack, Spotify, Instagram. Those are very popular. And the startups also, when I write about startups, they get early users from Japanese community. For example, Plug is a startup from Lithuania. When my colleague at the Bridge wrote about them, they got a lot of early users in Japan. And the Clue is a BEL.BIZ pre-order tracking app. I wrote about it, and they got a huge users, thousands downloads after that. And I am also photo sharing app from BEL. They got some photo fans community, photographers community. So we also love gadgets. It's not the majority of people, but we have a very thin layer of geeky people who likes to watch out what kind of gadgets are available, and they want to invest their money in a Kickstarter campaign. We have those people, and big app market. So, well, even the small layer of the population, we have 120 million people, so which is quite a lot of people. Yeah, and maybe we have, when you live in big cities like Tokyo or Osaka, you tend to have more long commuting time. That means you have more time touching your smartphone, so you try out new apps every day. Yeah, and maybe mentality about Japanese toward technology, gadget, hardware, or software. We care about the quality and the details. We are kind of picky, maybe, about it. But once we love the product, we are very, very loyal. We just keep using it. I think that's the characteristic of Japanese mentality. Royal. Yeah. Royal. Yeah, lawyer. Yeah, lawyer. Yeah, sorry. And also recently, in the last year, more big companies, corporates are looking for startups to invest, and they also want to partner with them. It's the latest trend, so it's been changing. It took time, but yeah, they are finally very open. So like when a big event happened, DLD in Tel Aviv, in Israel, a lot of car companies from Japan, they visited Israel, and they tried to learn. They were eager to learn. They were so hungry to build a new partnership. And we have some active VC funds and corporate funds. They are eager to invest outside Japan. So finally, about PR. Why is PR important? So with PR, your product can become influential. It can be a product that comes to people's mind. And when your startup product is more covered, it will be more mentioned from the other media. It's also official statement, and sorry, and you will get more attention from investors, potential customers, potential partners. So it will push forward your business if you do public relations correctly. But oh, no, it's backward. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So, but I want you to think. Please ask yourself if you are really ready for PR, because PR is not replacing sales. PR will not fix your business problems. And if you do PR in the wrong timing, you might get more backfires. People will add bad reviews on your product, so it can slow down your business if you choose the wrong timing. So please think yourself if you're really ready to be in the spotlight. And I want to tell you the good timing. When is a good time then? So I think good timing is when you maybe either raised fund or launch a new product or a new Kickstarter campaign, or you can show now you have a big growth with a number, or when you're expanding into new market. Okay, now you're in Belarus, now you're expanding to Asia or in America. That's a good timing. Also, when you added maybe a big feature. So those are the good timing. But again, if you're not in a good timing, you might get a backfire. So please be careful. Yeah. So I want to talk about how you can do PR. And there are a lot of methods. There are a lot of ways to reach out your potential customers, investors, the people who will be important to you. And the press release is one of the very traditional method. But I think it's important. It's very important for big companies to make a press release. It's an official statement, and every journalist goes to press release when they have a big news. So it's really important, and it's also for big companies. It's make it easy to split their official statement, so it's efficient also. But I'm not really sure if it's for startups because it takes time. And so this is a press release for busy founders. So you can make very minimal message, just key messages, and the facts and figures, especially with the number, is always very convincing. So if there is any number you can show and you're proud of, please write down those figures, like user growth, sales, downloads, funding, yeah, and it's really convincing. And the official photos, yeah, photos are good, yeah. If you don't have photo, I can take a photo, but I'm not a professional photographer, so it's better for you to have good photos. Yeah, they really like to have a good photos, and it changes the impression. Also contacts, and I always want to talk to founders. Yeah, so some startups have a communication people, PR people, but they are more speaking for them. Yeah, but when I get to talk to founders, yeah, I can feel more. understand the story better, and I can feel the passion, it changes. Yeah. So if you are in a good timing, you want to do a PR, please, if you're a founder, please talk to the journalist. And please make my job easy. Well, we usually have so many emails, phone calls, Skypes. We're very busy. So I know there are things you want to say, but please keep your message simple because my memory is very limited also. So please make it a simple, minimal, and make a strong story. Yeah, with very short. And I also want to always go back to media kits. Yeah, so media kits is a kind of package that has a fact sheets, the official photos. Yeah, those helps. So please make media kits. So I think when you send out those messages and the media kits, I think you will use emails, and I'm going to make simple, straight to the point email. And just a little tip, I think it's better to avoid Monday morning and Friday evenings because Monday morning we're more busy, you will get less attention, and the Friday evening I want to chill, so I'm not going to open my email. Yeah, so better to send out Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday mornings. Yeah, I think the chances you can reach out to journalists will increase. And you can also send out many times. Well, not like 5 times a day, but like every week. And we often miss some emails, so it's good to remind the journalists that they're interested in them. You can keep trying. And some journalists, they don't open the attachment. Yeah, they're told not to open some company policy. So it's good to copy and paste the message. If you happen to make a press release, copy and paste in the email, and that will make it easy for journalists to read it and deliver the message. But I think the most important thing is conversation. So journalists are human, and we want to have, and then often lonely, so it's good to have a good conversation, get to know them, get to know what interests them, and every journalist has a different interest, different focus. So, and it's important to ask them what kind of information they are looking for, and if you can help them with insights and with information. And I think through this trustworthy relationship, well, it's good. There will be more chance you'll be highlighted, you'll be more written, and yeah, I think the building relationship with journalists is very important. And yeah, so and I want to mention that please don't get offended when you are not covered, even after you talk to them, because we have a lot of news to cover, and sometimes, it's not. I cannot cover all their interviews I had. Yeah, if you want to bring your content you want at the timing you want, it's advertising. It's not the journalism. So yeah, just please don't get offended when you're not covered. And another method is to deliver your message or story is blog, or Medium is also a kind of blog, and those contents you can create as you want. and you can publish whenever you want, and it can reach to very wide audience if the content is very good. So please think, if you have something you want to tell, please consider writing about it on blog or Medium. Yeah, so blog and Medium is usually for long article, but short messages, you can also use Facebook or Twitter. Yeah, any content. Yeah, there are a lot of channels you can use, so please consider using it. And the tips of making a good content on blog or Facebook is to become more objective, but also engaging. And another benefit of using Medium or Facebook, those are social network. So it can spread among the community, in the right community, yeah, if you target the right audience. So with the effect of word of mouth, it can spread very, very, very wide. Yeah, so please consider, yeah, the blog. And the subject can be anything. I told you that good timing is like you raised a fund, or you launch new campaign, or you launch new product or a new feature. But there are a lot of actually a subject. You can talk about the team building, how you build your great team in your startup, how you created your great internal culture, and funding story. What motivated you to start the startup, or failure experience, or the biggest challenge you ever had. Those startup stories are pretty popular because as the people here now, there are more people are interested in the startup movement, so they want to learn. And if you have a great story, great convincing story, they think, yeah, they will trust you. And also, tech journalists also cover, especially like the media I work for, the BEL.BIZ or TechCrunch or the Next Web. They write about the know-how about how to make a successful startup. So these are good topics. And if you keep writing on blog or Facebook, just when you keep doing it, you will get unexpected content. Yeah. I'm very, very sure. I also have blog, and then I write on blog, and I'm always amazed by the people I didn't expect would contact me. Yeah. And also, so I think a lot of founders are very have strong passion to any particular area or topic. So you can be an expert for something. So guest article is article you can write for established media, like VentureBeat they put a lot of guest articles from startup or company people who are specialized in some topic. So please think about your expertise, what you know a lot about. And if you're confident about your expertise, you can make a suggestion to journalists or editors. You want to write about, I want to write about VR, I want to write about AR, and I can write the content from these angles. Yeah. So please convince them, yeah, and you want to commit with your guest article. And when you write in a guest article, it's important not to sell and stay objective, because, yeah, it's not our advertising. But again, the most important thing is having a great product. So as Dave McClure, 500 Startups, he said, TechCrunch doesn't pay the rent. So TechCrunch can put your startup under the spotlight. You'll get some user growth. Yeah, but if the product is not good enough, you will lose the users very quickly. So please make great products. And if your product becomes popular and you create a buzz, I have to follow. And so please make the journalists follow your products. When your product is good, I cannot be sleepy. I have to wake up and write about it. So, and everyone talks about it. That's the greatest way to bring your message. So that's all for now. Спасибо.
Any questions?
What's the best way to start a relationship with journalists? To start and to build?
Start
Yeah,
relationship.
what's the best way to do it?
Just.
I mean, for example, I launched a product to a platform.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to know about it and just to build a long-term relationship with you, for example. So what's the best way to start it?
I think you can reach me just by email. Yeah.
Okay, so that's enough.
Yeah. So simple email, and if I want to write about it, I will contact you, and then probably we'll have like a Skype interview or something. Yeah.
Okay, and another question, like talking about journalists in general, how to find the right email, because it's not something that is shared everywhere. I mean, like the
really?
journalist email, yeah.
I think you can. It's not so hard to find a journalist email. Yeah.
Exactly.
Every media has each profile page for journalists, and usually it has an email address.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's enough to email you, and if you're interested, you'll respond.
Yeah. And then my email address is here.
Yeah, I mean, like, talking about journalists in general.
Yeah,
Okay,
right.
got it.
Yeah.
And are there any platforms that somehow specify, for example, journalists per category of field? So if we are an ad tech startup, for example, I think that, and I know that there are like, some journalists that write about it, in specific. So is there a unified platform that can help me to find the right list of journalists?
I don't think there's any platform for where you can find a right journalist. Yeah, but if you're making products, maybe you can find who covers the product of your competitor. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Do you usually, if you write about somebody, do you usually send them material before it being published so that they could review it?
No, I don't usually do that. Yeah.
Okay, so
And then I don't honestly like when people ask for it.
What is the reputation risks if, for example, some paper, some newspaper published an article that it's actually wrong because the people are not satisfied because it's obviously a lie about them or something like this. So because we had a lot of not a lot of, but I haven't seen yet a person who was completely satisfied with that journalist wrote about them. That there is some kind of traction goes on when there is no responsibility about this. So how do you handle this in your professional circles?
So the question is if the journalist write some wrong message.
Yeah, what is the responsibility? Because here is no responsibility.
Well, if we write something wrong, we should fix. Yeah. So you can reach out to the journalist, and if it's really wrong number or wrong information is on it, yeah, I modify it with a note of that the information was wrong, and then I modified it. And then with online media, yeah, I can do that. Yeah.
So it's not like inline modification when well, usually it comes is the article is published, then there is wrong information, people wrote it, and like after a few days or there is some modification inside of the article, so nobody knows that initial information was wrong.
Yeah.
So everybody has read that, and nobody knows that.
Yeah, that I know that can happen. Yeah, and well.
Yeah, and that is the reason why people stop losing like confidence in journalism. So
yeah, then please find journalists you can trust. Yeah, that can happen. I think, yeah, that can be a risk.
Yeah, that's a good advice actually about building a personal relationship with the journalists. Because
yeah, that's true. Yeah, thank you for mentioning that. I think that's true.
Thank you. Any more questions?
I just would like to ask, you write in English for your articles in Japan, or it's your Japan language, all this?
Yeah, unfortunately, I write only Japanese.
Okay, so we could only write, we can read your articles in your blog, it is in English, yes? Also in Japan?
Yeah, actually, my blog is also in Japanese.
So,
yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
So we have no...
But the bridge is actually bilingual, and it depends on the results, but we sometimes translate the Japanese articles into English. But yeah, regarding my articles with Japanese.
Would like to understand what your article about or your magazines about, it's very tough to, for example, English-speaking person to understand and be more closer to Japan culture, correct?
Yeah.
Okay,
but I'm trying to, so that you can understand what I'm interested and what kind of publication I have been, what kind of articles I have been creating. I write, I'm thinking to make it more clear, and I write about it. Yeah.
So it is the point that Japan is still more close to the world than the world to Japan, yes? Am I correct?
I think you're correct.
Okay,
yeah.
Thank you. Any more questions?
Hi, Yuki. The question from me. So, do you open all the emails you receive? And what is the best subject of the email to get it open?
I open all the emails. That's a question. If it's too long, I don't read all. Yeah. And if I sense if it's from founder and the staff, they want to reach out to me because they want me to write. I just see the first 2 paragraphs, and I will decide if I want to cover it. Yeah, that's what I do. And the subject is, I don't know. Okay, I think it's the best if you want to be featured as an article. What kind of headline, what kind of the title you want in the article? And the title should be the subject.